Hey there, YouTube family. It's been a minute. I have been on vacation, so I'm enjoying my time off. But welcome back to my channel, Winning in Education. So on this channel, as you know, we talk all things winning, whatever winning means to you. So you could be new to the field and you're trying to win by starting out as a teacher, or maybe you're already a teacher and you're looking to move up in the profession into something like teacher leadership, or you're looking to move into the principal role, or winning in education could mean that you are thinking about leaving education together. So we're going to follow up on one of my most popular videos on the channel thus far. Currently it has about, I want to say 13,000 views, and I should check that before making up that number. Yeah, it's 13,000 views, and the video was, why are so many teachers fed up, burnt out, and quitting the profession? So this is going to be part 2 of that. Why are so many teachers fed up, burnt out, and quitting, part 2. So as a refresher, some of the things that we went over in part 1 of this, the top 3 reasons that I listed, and there were lots and lots of comments on this video as well, was, of course, teacher pay. Teacher pay is always an issue. Teachers are not being paid nearly enough of what they need or what they should get for the amount of work that they're putting out. We talked a lot about some teachers who have worked on the job for years and years, over 10 years, and still only making around $50,000. The second one from part 1 of the video talked a lot about classroom management issues, the violence happening in schools from teacher, from student to teacher, from student to student. Is just a lot. And then the third reason we really touched on was workload, too much work for too little money, and this idea of job creep. A lot of you had a lot of comments to say about this idea of job creep, and job creep, if you haven't seen part 1, I'm going to link it so you can make sure you go check it out, is all of those other duties that creep into your main job that you are somehow you find yourself somehow responsible for at the end of the day. So workload / job creep was number 3. So part 2 of this video was prompted by an article that I found on Education Week. And of course, I'm going to link the article. You guys know I love to read articles. This one was very interesting. So the article was, teaching shouldn't be a life-threatening profession, Biden says. So they were quoting President Biden on this particular comment, and then the article kind of went into what's happening in the teaching profession. So let's go into part 2. So in this article where they have President Biden talking about the teaching profession, they also listed 3 reasons, or 3 top reasons, that the teaching profession is so out of control, so out of hand now in 2023, or actually in the last couple of years, the teaching profession has been just crazy. And the number 1 reason that President Biden talked about, I don't know if he so much categorized this as a reason, but he said one of the issues, again, by them titling the article, teaching shouldn't be a life-threatening profession, Biden talked about the gun control issue. And if you're a teacher, I wholeheartedly agree with the title of this article. Like, it spoke to me. And I've said this many times when I'm talking to my students, when I'm talking and lamenting, the role to other professionals in this K-12 and ed leadership and higher education game, that we're having such a difficult time recruiting teachers because teaching has become a life-threatening profession. It's like being a police officer. Like, to me, I feel like the danger level is as high as being a police officer, a firefighter, being a soldier in a war. You, as a teacher now, with this gun control issue in America so out of character, so out of pocket, so ridiculous that we can't seem to control it, teachers are going into work not really 100% sure that they will be able to leave at the end of the day alive. And what does that do for recruiting new and young teachers into the profession? Like this generation, this new generation who are graduating, they are quite savvy. They're obviously technology minded. They're tech savvy. They're on tech all the time. So they're hearing about all of these things. Oh, sorry about that. They're hearing about all of these things that are happening in the profession, right? The gun shootings, the teacher student fights, student fights. We hear about all of that on the news, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook. We can actually now see these recordings. We're seeing recordings of school shootings live. So when Joe Biden talks about teaching shouldn't be a life-threatening profession, I think that's the number one reason that teachers are fed up, burnt out, and are quitting. And I'm going to add something to this title, and it's probably the number one reason that we are having such a hard time recruiting teachers into our education programs and then graduating them and keeping them to want to actually become teachers. So that was the first reason. I completely agree with it. Gun control has really harmed the PR, right? You know, we got to sell the teaching profession. So gun control and teacher recruitment to me is linked. I'm curious as to what you guys think in the comments. So the second reason from this article, lo and behold, nothing that we haven't talked about here on this channel, we've talked about teacher raises. So President Biden also talked about he was strongly for teacher pay raises, raising the minimum level, the minimum salary of teachers. He thinks is too low. And raise your hand if you agree with President Biden. Yes, it's too low. We talk about teacher pay all over this channel. So I was glad to see that President Biden was making teacher pay, the abysmal case of teacher pay currently, a part of his agenda, a part of his talking points, because I think we need to talk about that more. In even society, like there are parents out there that think teachers make too much and they don't do enough. Those are the parents who want teachers to be everything to their child, including the parent. So, number one, gun control and teacher recruitment is linked. That's why teachers are fed up, burnt out, and quitting. And then teacher pay raises and teacher pay, that's part two. That's another reason teachers are quitting in droves across the nation. And then the final reason that he talked about, he wanted to, and he talked about this more in a positive manner, but he wanted to provide more funding for students with disabilities. And he thinks that we need to do more for our students in that population so that it will positively impact our schools. So I'm going to still talk about it in a positive way. I hope it comes off positively, but this is part two of why teachers are fed up, burnt out, and quitting. And there can be something said about the number of students with disabilities in these regular education classrooms. Some teachers are just fed up with that. So I truly believe that special education teachers are salt of the earth. You have to be a special person, a special kind of educator with a whole googob of patience to be an effective special education teacher. Not everybody can do it. I could not do it. So I think that if you are like me, and I'm going to go on the record by saying I do not think I would be an effective special education teacher. I knew that coming up through my K-12 career, but now, let's say if I was in classrooms now as a teacher, even though I wasn't designated a special education teacher. I didn't go to school to get specialized training because you need it to be a special ed teacher. But in my regular ed classroom, maybe not half, but close to half of your students now are students with disabilities. So this is a reason that a lot of teachers, and I hear this, and I'm on quite a lot of forums, Facebook forums, and just hear from my students in general, that teachers are quitting because, again, not everybody can be an effective special ed teacher. Not everybody wanted to be a special ed teacher, and it takes a special kind of educator to be a special ed teacher. So yes, teachers are getting fed up, burnt out, and quitting because in their regular ed classroom now, they're having to be a regular ed teacher and they're having to accommodate all of these students with disabilities. Now, before you come for me in the comment section, no, I am not saying that these students should not be accommodated. They absolutely should be accommodated. They should have IEPs in place, and we should be following those IEPs as dictated by our federal government. I believe all of that. However, on the flip side of that, I also believe that a regular ed teacher should not have to be doing all of that in her regular ed classroom. So if you want me to be a special education teacher, give me my 10 students and with their IEPs and put me in a room and let me manage that. Don't give me 30 kids in the classroom where 12 or more sometimes are IEP students, and then I need to plan regular ed lessons, differentiating my instruction for my regular ed students, and then I need to attend to 10 plus individual education plans. That's what IEPs are, right? Individualized instruction for each of those students. I think that's too much. That in itself is getting a lot of people fed up. So I want to hear what you think about this part 2. So if you haven't seen part 1 of why teachers are getting fed up, burnt out, and quitting, please look at that. Again, I'm going to link it. I'm going to link the article that kind of spurred this part 2 of that video. And I want to hear your comments. What are you thinking? Were you encouraged by the article from President Biden, the fact that he's bringing this further into mainstream talking points? I was encouraged by that, but I'm somewhat of a Pollyanna, people keep telling me, so I don't know. All right, fam, that's it for now. I'm hoping I won't be taking 2 weeks between videos, but I don't know. I'm on summer break. I don't know. We'll take it. We'll play it by ear. And if I get another article or something burns in my soul and I feel like I need to come to YouTube to kind of document it, I will. I will try to stay on track, but I am making no promise. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for coming to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video, and leave your comments. All right, take care.